Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Sanzo, aka Sanzo Matic, and we are back with another episode, another week of the Xperts podcast. The Xperts is a part of the Solid Network, All Rights Reserved, and I'm here alongside of my co-hosts. We got CJ the X Factor,
Yo, what's good?
and we also got Graylin. G, what's good?
What's good?
So, we're back to you with another episode of our preview for the NFL Sunday games coming up. So we got a whole slate of games coming up, by the way, and we just want to make a special shout out to our sponsors, Akil Bahamas, Rev and Rev Trio. Don't forget, with Rev Trio, you can get the Sunday ticket package, and that will give you a list and give you a breakdown of all games. You can watch every single game. So if you can't find a game on ESPN, you can't find a game on ABC, NBC, you can find it on NFL Sunday Ticket, and they will give you every single game. You can watch it live, you can watch it one at a time, and if you are a Rev Trio or a Triple Play customer, you will get that at no additional cost. So can't beat that deal. And with that, we'd like to start off this podcast and say, what did you guys think of that game on Thursday night? That was a pretty good game. It came down to the final seconds. What's y'all thoughts on that game?
It wasn't what I expected. I thought Washington's defense would hold up a lot more than it did.
And this game we're talking about is Washington versus New York Giants, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, what y'all think about that one?
I thought Washington defense would hold up. I thought Washington's defense would have been the story of that matchup, but it really wasn't. Also, the star of the show, who's out for about 8 weeks, his job may be in jeopardy because Washington reserve quarterback actually played good. So I don't know.
He played a decent game.
First of all, he was the reason they win that game.
Yeah.
Thank God he had the opportunity to win that game through unforeseen circumstances. So good. It shows that he should have been, even though he carried them not carried them, but he played very well in their playoff game last
Don't
year.
say it.
So I feel like he should have been the starter from the beginning. But, we know how
That's
seniority
the
goes.
first. I mean, but listen, let's not get carried away. That's the first game he started since what, 2018?
And the last game he played, he looked good. The first game he started here, he looked good. What more y'all want?
He looked good against the Giants.
but maybe the
Against the Giants, he
right,
looked good.
and then maybe the usual starter will look better. Can we give him a
Yeah.
chance?
Yeah,
But, we talked about this a little bit last week, and we did say that because we also brought up Washington as a potential landing spot for Cam Newton.
he in a tight.
Cam Newton in a date, to say the least. He in the jam,
What?
to say the least, because now it looks as if Fitzpatrick can come back at some point during the season.
I don't know why.
And if Heineke, I don't want to pronounce his name wrong.
Heineken.
But let's say Heineken. If Heineken continues to play at a good enough level, well, what's the need for another quarterback in that instance?
Now, keep in mind, these guys are what you call, I wouldn't even call them Cinderella, because Cinderellas even go a long way. Heineke is them guys, they are spark plugs. You could plug them in, and they could give you a little boost for they give them about 3-4 games, depending on their schedule, but they don't run the engine. They ain't the main cylinders, or they ain't into that. So, if he could give you a spark for the next 4 to 6 games, and then we know Fitzpatrick, that old broken down under, that is get you where you need to go. They ain't flashy, but it could get you from A to B. So if he could come in and then give them another spark for another 4 to 5 games, they have a good chance. Don't forget the playoffs is now 7 teams. They could get a wild card at the bottom, and then in no big division. Obviously, you got the Giants there. And then the Cowboys 0-1. You don't know what they can do until tomorrow. We got to look at them. And then the next, who else? There's just, them two? Washington, the Giants, the Cowboys, and then the Eagles. And the Eagles ain't no guarantee. They're no lock.
No, they're not.
But I still have my faith in Fitzpatrick for real. Like, not just on a fantasy level because I draft him, but for real. Like, I think he could give you 7 good games. So, I mean, if he come back week 9.
That's unfortunate.
And when
If he come back, he might not have no job because he is a career backup.
Yeah.
So he'll fit right in that nice slot of being a career backup.
And I feel like they'll give your boy every chance now to see if he could win the position.
Especially if they over 500
Yeah.
when Fitzpatrick come back.
The
Like,
expectations are very low.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
He ain't have nothing to lose.
if Dude could give you like
You watch that game?
3 more
yeah,
games,
but
He wasn't no laser QB. That boy was like, he's like the type of quarterback, like almost like Jameis Winston before he left the Buccaneer. He was a real biscuit quarterback
Jameis
that day.
Winston.
That boy was throwing ball with 2 fellas on the receiver, and he was like, I ain't getting on the lose, but
Okay.
either you catch it or you drop it.
right. So
What you
here's
want me
the
to
thing. I think we could see the real test could come when he faced a serious team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
He can
against the
throw about 3-4
Giants,
interceptions
right? And then-
easily on a
right.
good defense.
So but let's not jump the gun just yet. I think Fitzpatrick is. I don't think they would have.
Oh, boy.
They would have allowed Fitzpatrick to forego the surgery if they wasn't planning on bringing him back. So I mean, it's going to be a quarterback. If he does play good, it's going to be a quarterback dilemma. It's either way. There's no
that
room
could have
for
been a
gamble.
Fitzpatrick decision too, though. He could have said, you know what, I don't want to take no chances of surgery because I know.
You know that is. That's
Yeah,
it.
I know. If I take a surgery now, that might be it.
that's
That might be it for my starting quarterback chances.
That's
Just
true.
like that Peyton man in his last year.
Yeah.
He's like, but you think I missed the Super Bowl run? When he, I think he had a broken bone in his foot, and then something was wrong. Like his throwing arm was weak or something
No,
like
I
that.
thought he had an injury on his neck. Oh, yeah,
No, the neck
surgery.
was when he left,
Yeah, you're right.
and he
you're
came
right.
back. But I don't.
So
But
he
that
was
Super
recovering
Bowl
from neck
season,
surgery.
I think he messed up his foot, and he was like, "There's like they take surgery, but it might put you out the rest of the season." He's like, "Yeah, that's it. This is my last season. What you mean put me out the rest of the season?" But he, try you let up and put that in one cast and rub some Bengay on that. But another point I got from first of all, like I say, Heineken wasn't throwing no good ball. A lot of them ball was high, and a lot of the times their receivers had to jump for the ball, which was okay because I rather high ball than low ball because it's harder for the defender to get. But on the other side, Daniel Jones played a good game.
Play a hell of a game.
I tired of people riding Daniel Jones like he's a trash quarterback when we have other quarterbacks out there who are worse than him but are on better
Who
teams.
are trash, yeah.
But it's just that, to be honest, it's not really the Giants' offense. It's more of the Giants' defense. Even if you have a good quarterback, even if you put enough points, you could put up. Dallas had the same problem for the past 5 years. You could put up 28 points a game, but if you allow 35 points, you still gonna look like a trash team. Dallas has had one of the best offenses of the past 5 years, rushing and passing. But where does that get them if their defense gives up more than what they score? So with the Giants, I believe that if they could fix that defense and put one more good piece, like a wide receiver or a nice tight end with Daniel Jones, he could be good. Because Saquon, obviously, is Saquon. We know what you're getting there.
Right. But
Daniel Jones could put the ball on the number, but
we talked about Danny Jones
we
last,
need him to
last
be more
week.
consistent.
Given that this is a year that he has the most to prove. So we talked about him and Saquon pairing up to actually show us, to impress us. So that wasn't surprising to me.
But it's hard to prove that when, like I say, you putting up points and then the defense going on there. The next team could go down on the field with a rookie, well, not really a rookie quarterback, but with a unexperienced quarterback and run down
quarterback.
the field and still score the last.
Yeah.
Like, what more you want me to do?
Right? I mean,
This man was doing. This player was running like he is freaking Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this guy? Why is Daniel Jones doing so much play action like he is Lamar Jackson? Where's all this RPO coming from? And then he actually was running like he was making big plays.
he
and
was
stuff. And, like,
making huge plays.
so I was like, oh,
I mean, I think for Daniel Jones to respond the way he did after week 1, after there was a lot of questions. I mean, a lot of questions, coming in and to say, you know what, I could take it on my chin and just come out and still play. And, it was unfortunate the way it ended for him because if I was him, I'd have been looking in that locker room like, boy, like especially with that draw pass at around the 6:40 mark, which really was sealed the game for the Giants. I mean, 200 draw pass, so.
anyway, just look at this. We can get to that.
But, that was unfortunate. So the Giants 0-2. What do we see going from them
Like what?
for the rest of the season?
It's like what?
Yeah, like what you want?
I don't have high expectations. I mean, I'm interested in seeing how Danny Jones and Saquon play, but in terms of win-loss record, I don't.
It depends on how bad they do. If Daniel Jones could muster up with good 5, 6 wins, he could secure his seat for next year. If they go down and they get that number 1 pick, 2-1, quarterback coming.
The patience running thin with him. The patience is running thin.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Unless it's some big superstar defensive lineman or some big guy out there we don't know about yet until draft day. Unless he could get them at least 5 to 6 wins, and now you could blame the rest on the defense. If he only win 3 games, 4 games, they can do what they did to Minshew in Jacksonville. Because dog was throwing.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't his fault. But Trevor Lawrence is number 1. I mean, to me, I didn't see the big talent in Trevor Lawrence. But we can get to that later. But, yeah. See, this is either to secure his spot or either go because he's still on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
You're looking for extension. He ain't boy can extend you. And every year you start 0-2. This like his second time, third time starting 0-2. How much 0-2s you want, bro? And you in a weak division. You should at least be coming second in this division. If not first. Come on, man.
This could be a rough year for the Giants, to say the least. Let's get to the picks. Let's get to the picks for this week. This week, we trying to do better than we do last week. Xperts getting blowed.
That's why you get what the tally was.
But
because you wasted the parliament. But anyway,
we ain't got to go into all that.
Y'all won't call election and they ain't sent out the votes yet. I thought
someone get their head marched in the election. Anyway, we ain't go there.
Yeah.
But let's get to the picks this week. We got a good slate of games, and we got some feature games we want to talk about in depth. But we'll just go to the picks for now. Let's start off at Cincinnati Bengals versus the Bears. We all think got that game.
Oh boy! All right, this is a 1:00 toilet bowl game, and it's tough. It's tough because I want the Bears to start their young QB, but it's for some reason I don't know. Andy Dalton, I don't know. He must be in the lodge or something because dog just can't. Like I don't know. I don't see it. Like why is he starting at this point?
Now, dude is gonna eventually get it. I give Dalton like 4 games.
Yeah, but why? Like why people take that approach? Like oh, let's get him 4 games and then bring our rookie in. Like you don't think that this 4 games would get your rookie ready for game 5? Because now even when you bring him in at game 4, game 5, to him that's game 1. So he's still going to be as inexperienced game 5 as he should have been week 1 when he could have been 4 games in.
I agree.
That's what Belichick did. And I feel like that was a smart move. But these guys, they still going off this old school thing. And I was like, if you had a better quarterback or a bigger quarterback or a bigger name, cool. But really, Andy Dalton, everything cool.
So for that reason, you go on with the Bengals, right? Just say it.
Just say it.
You were not really considering it.
I came with the Bears.
Going with the Bears. All right.
I got the Bengals.
You got the Bengals? I got the Bengals.
This is why his record is the way it is.
No. You're just.
I got the Bengals.
The Bears can play harder.
I think the Bears are gonna play good. The Bengals defense is really look, at least it really look good in the opener. And I think I just like you said, I questioned the Andy Dalton decision. That's all. He didn't really have I think I read something. He didn't throw a single pass over 15 yards in the opener. I don't know how long they're gonna keep him as starter, but
that's my only thing. I feel like he's gonna stink up like the first quarter or the first half, and I feel like the switch could be this game because if you getting beat bad by the Bengals, time to write that ship off.
Yeah, but I don't think that surprised me.
Write that ship off. Yeah. Let that sink. Go get a new.
That would surprise me if Andy Dalton get beat that bad from the Bengals. Yeah, I don't think that.
I don't think he's gonna get beat that bad, but I think it's.
You might not be losing. Yeah. Like the score might not be high, but you could do the eye test to say this guy missing throws, this guy missing wide open receivers, this guy making bad decisions. Like the score might only be 7-6, but you could look at a QB and say, "But I ain't gonna lie, this guy stinks."
Yeah, I mean, if you ain't even attempting certain throws, then
like,
that's the real
I got a young,
part.
strong arm QB there. Let's make this happen.
All right, next game on the schedule, another 1 p.m. one. We got the Texans and the Cleveland Browns.
That's easy
I
one.
think that's the easy one for all of us.
Blowout game.
The
I see all that,
Browns played great enough to win last week.
but they didn't.
They did, but they didn't. You mean if they bring that sort of performance against any other team, they probably win. Do they get Odell back?
No.
No, not yet.
No.
The coach already said he's not playing Odell this game. I
All right.
mean, you playing the Texans. I wouldn't risk him getting hurt again either.
Yeah. Do we expect Tyrod Taylor to have a performance like that again
No.
last week?
No.
No.
All right, so
This defense is much improved.
Yeah.
You got Myles Garrett, and you also have a former Texan who has something to prove in Jadeveon Clowney on the other end. People don't realize how good this defense was. They didn't just look good last week because, Kansas City played a bad game. They looked good last week because they actually a good team, offensively and defensively. And then you got a secondary now that's coming into their own. I feel like this game here, the Browns can explode.
yeah.
Especially of being beaten last week when they had a chance to win. This is a game where you should show people that, hey, we good. We ain't average, we good. And you definitely don't get beat this game. You get beat this game in the tight.
That being said, Browns by 20.
Yeah. I probably got them by 15 to 20.
Yeah.
All right.
Browns by 3 scores.
Next game, we got the
Rams
Rams
and
and
Colts.
Colts.
What is it? Rams and Colts, 1 o'clock. Again with the Rams, only because, like I said, there's certain teams I picked before the season that I can ride with anyway. So they ain't gonna win all 16, but in this game, it ain't gonna be no blowout. But I game with the Rams
Yeah.
because of their offense and
I-
defense.
Right, I would too. I think the Rams is. I think it's the clear-cut favorite in this game.
I mean,
don't.
clear cut, right? Clear cut.
I mean, yes, any given
Yeah,
Sunday night,
yeah.
you still can just
But-
think that's how it goes, especially football.
I mean, this could be a trap game for the Rams. This could be a trap game, but
See, the Colts, I don't think they're ready yet. In order for the Colts to win, the offense gotta explode, and you're not gonna
But that
explode
o-
on Aaron Donald.
Right,
and
that
Ramsey.
offense is explodable, just not on the Rams
Yeah,
defense.
it ain't gonna be on Ramsey and
Yeah.
and Aaron Donald. So.
and it could be difficult. Carson Wentz, I think he had a decent game last week, but he don't
Yeah,
really have
he
much
was
of an
nice.
O line.
No,
So
and that pressure coming,
and that pressure is coming, so that could make it really difficult. So
and your running game ain't impressive.
yeah, I'll go with the Rams in this one. I think again, it could be a trap game, but I go with the Rams in this one. Next up, we got the
What?
Patriots versus the Jets.
This is an easy one,
Is it? Is it an easy one?
very easy.
I get him with the Jets. I like how Zach Wilson looked in the second half of last week's game.
How you look
He was making plays. He's making plays.
against who?
Don't worry about that. He's making plays.
The team you couldn't name one player off last week, but that was your favorite team.
He's making plays.
Okay, make him against Gilmore, Hightower.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Make them plays. Let
yeah.
me see how you go.
Yeah.
I would love on this one. I think the Patriots defense is.
McCarty them in the
Listen,
back there.
I don't think
just
Wilson ready for
eating
that yet. I don't think.
Keep in
It'll
mind,
be interesting, look.
Bill Belichick has one of the best records in NFL history against rookie quarterbacks. So keep that in mind. He really punishes rookie quarterbacks. And on top of that, he punishes the Jets. So pick your struggle.
But let's just keep in mind Sans motivation. Sans love rookie quarterbacks. So it's always going to be one
Obviously.
or two
I'd
rookie
be,
quarterbacks.
I'd be picking against two. Anyone though.
Obviously.
Two of those rookie
You don't lie.
quarterbacks.
That's true. That's
But
true.
if we could do the eye test, who looked better out of those two rookie quarterbacks?
Wilson
last
looked
year?
good though. You talking
I
as
said
if
who looked better. I didn't say Wilson looked bad. If you get a 89 B plus and I get a 90 A minus, I
You know,
still do better.
This
But you
con-
do good.
This continues the tradition of Loaf talking like Mark Jones is the second coming just
I
because you're the
never said.
Patriots.
See,
Fuck.
y'all gotta stop.
This continues
Stop
the
reaching.
tradition.
Stop trying to get that out of me. I'm not gonna say that.
okay?
Listen.
So who what's your pick?
Oh, of course I win with Patriots. That's an easy pick. The defense is far better. The offense is far better. The passing game is far better. The only problem is we lost because we had 4 turnovers last week. Bill Belichick, and this is one of the reasons why they got rid of Cam. You can't have your running backs fumble, and then you got a QB there throwing all type of interceptions and fumbling when he runs the ball. So we got the quarterback issue under control because Matt Jones didn't turn the ball over. He didn't have an interception, whatever. Now you got rookie running backs and second-year running backs who won't fumble the ball. So I feel that the Patriots, I think Bill probably had some clamp on their hand the whole week training them. So I don't expect 4 turnovers again from the Patriots, and I feel like they'll pull it out. It's not gonna. I wouldn't say blowout because they're still a young offense that's trying to find themselves and stuff like that. But I feel like the Patriots will pull this.
I'll say this: Mark Jones is in a much better position to have a better game
Far better
than a guy like Zach Wilson.
Yeah, far better.
I'll say that. But yeah, you know our predictions for that one. Let's move on to the next one. We got
Keep that written.
49ers and the Eagles.
Boy, that's tight. That's tight.
That's a good game.
Should be a good one.
See that 49ers QB situation running me out. So that's what makes it so.
Why is it running you out? Let's just ask the question. Let's just get out of the way.
Because it's not concrete.
Yeah, like
it's.
I can't have you in the game, especially for fantasy people. I can't have you in the game, and then when the big players come, you out the game. Then when they get the first down, they putting you back. They didn't believe in you to get the first down. So why are they putting you back in there on first down? When I cut the TV on last week, they had no coverage on Trey Lance starting. Everything was Jimmy G. I said, let me switch through my channels. Through Rev. And I say, let me look at this game. And I look, Trey Lance on the field. Why? This was like in the first quarter on the second drive. Well, how you get on the field and you wasn't even supposed to be starting? So I say, man, I reading all the reports. I looking for Jimmy to get injured. I say, man, he must be in here because something going on. Then I look, Trey Lance, RPO, run for the first down, slide. Who come trotting back
Jimmy
on the field like he do anything? You do nothing. I was like, anyway, if that's how you all got this, like I say, some things go by. And this is why Belichick, I keep telling people, has a far, like it's a big gap between him and other coaches. Like it's a top tier, like he's tier 1, and then good coaches is tier 2, and then the rest of them is trash. But it's because of this reason. Like, and don't forget, this is one of the reasons why Tom Brady left too. Because don't forget, he's drafted people like Jimmy to put behind Tom Brady to keep you on your A game. But my thing is, like, I feel Trey Lance, if you're gonna trust him in that type of pressure situation on a 3rd and 7 or something like that, you can't trust him with the game. You keeping Jimmy Garoppolo in there just because of number 1, you trade high picks for him. Number 2, you give him $27.5 million
Yep.
Per year contract.
Yep.
And then number 3, I guess, seniority on the team.
And number 4, Belichick draft him, so he must be good.
Really?
That's my suit. I didn't say that's
It's
must,
the
that's
politics
probably
of
their
There's a lot of
logic.
logic that should tell you that Belichick obviously has some insight. But
It's the politics of it all.
I don't like it.
It's the politics of it all.
I think with this game, as much as I like the 49ers this year, I ain't sure. See, because the Eagles can come with that running quarterback. 49ers might try to offset that with that.
I like the diversity that the Eagles offense has.
I don't know.
So I go with the Eagles on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Hurts on this one too. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that means I game with the 49ers.
Oh, you won't be the contrarian. I mean, you know you like
Their
losing.
defense is good. So they could, and then on top of that, you have a QB that you could train with as the defense. So you could put Trey Lance in practice and put him as a Hurts because they have similar games. So I think they could game plan better for him. And then they have a more explosive offense. Like Deebo Samuels them and Kittle's them, they could turn a regular game into a blowout quick.
That's
2-3 drives is 2-3 touchdowns. That game could go from 7-14 to 7-35
Shoot.
in a minute. So you see how it go. I go with the 49ers.
Yeah. All right. Raiders and Steelers. Let's see what picks for that one. I think I am going to go with the Steelers. I was very impressed by their defense last week. Raiders played a very good game last week as well. But yeah, I think I could go with the Steelers.
I'm with the Steelers too.
I go with the Raiders.
You know where you go.
The
Go
Steelers.
Lonzo.
I feel like I watched the Steelers wake up last week. They came out the gate slow
Sluggish.
and
Very sluggish.
and then they just
They flip a switch.
they flip a switch and that was it.
Yeah.
So I think I watched them wake up last week, and I think they could be on the road now. So I think
Yeah.
the Steelers could get that one.
A roll. Very cool. I game with the Raiders. Yeah, obviously, y'all didn't realize that the Raiders had one of the biggest games of week 1 last week. Unexpectedly, by the way.
They had a good game.
But I game with the Raiders. Just because, number one, like we said, they are one of the best tight ends in the league. Number two, their Carr is now that type of games give you that confidence. That gives you that boost. Like the thing about it is, like I told you before, number one, he's underrated. But number two is like sometimes you start to second guess yourself. But when you go into a game like that where you could be down, scrap back, lose the game technically, and then come back and still win it at the end, I feel like that type of, especially in the game-winning touchdown, that type of energy and that type of momentum going into the next game, I feel like they could have a good chance. And then I have zero faith now in Ben Roethlisberger, to be honest with you. To be honest, I never felt like he was really as good as people say he was. Don't get me wrong. Never said he's not good. I just saying he's not that all-time great that people is trying to portray him to be. You always had either Antonio Brown, you always had Le'Veon Bell, you always had Santonio Holmes, you had Hines Ward. Every time you won, you had big name players. The second those big name players wasn't there, you get smoked. So my thing is he's a Hall of Fame because of stats, and he has 2 championships.
Definitely Hall of Fame.
Maybe 3, I think 2. But definitely Hall of Fame, but not that. Maybe the GOAT for Pittsburgh, but don't put him in that. He in that talk. Don't put him against Tom Brady, obviously, who's tier
But
1.
we're not saying
Don't
that.
put him against. Don't even put him in tier 2 with Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Montana, and like he ain't even in that.
But we're not saying that Big Ben is gonna be the reason that the Steelers win. We're talking strictly about that defense.
Yeah.
You don't think that defense could do enough damage for Big Ben to just
Not if your
ride
offense
across?
can score.
Big Ben ain't that bad. He
But
can't
listen,
score now.
I mean, kick field goals.
They got receivers and they got some running backs.
Kick some field goals.
And I think guys like you saw Harris have a great game last week. I think he's probably gonna have another one. You saw guys like Claypool step up. So yeah, I mean Ben just has to do enough, right? And if that defense can come to play at a similar level than last week, it'd probably still be a close game. But I'd still put the Steelers.
All right, I got the Raiders.
Let's go to the next one. Let's go Saints and Panthers.
This smoke.
So this is a game where I guess if
No,
you're
man.
expecting both of those quarterbacks
Pick your damn big man.
to play the level that they played at last week, then you get a
Pick
hell
your
of a game.
favorite
Bro,
damn big
let's
man.
be real, bro.
Don't switch up.
Jameis eyes
Oh
fixed.
boy.
Jameis eyes are fixed.
Yeah.
I tell people that's a key, you know.
I started to believe it now.
That is a key.
I wasn't believing it before, but I started to believe it
I
now.
have been through that personally. But
Right?
I've been through that personally where I used to wear glasses and I used to take my glasses off to play ball. And everybody's like, but he can't shoot. He just is a slasher. I realized that I couldn't shoot.
You couldn't see it.
Until I actually got contacts to work. And I say, anyway, let me see. They told me don't play ball in it, but you think I take my contacts off to play ball? I start playing. I was like, hold on now. I could see more than just the net. I could see the whole rim and the whole back rim. Now I was like, okay, now I can shoot. But it's just like sight, especially in that type of sport. Sight is a key thing. I can be real. As a quarterback, you need just sight. And if you can't see deep down there, and obviously you can see it now because he's on the number. Them deep ball he's passing last week, they was on the number. So instead of him throwing 50-50 balls, where he was getting 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, he throwing more 80-20 balls, where he could have a better season. I don't think he threw an interception last week. So right now his ratio is what? 4-0, 5-0? That's a pretty good ratio to me.
I really gotta see it to believe it over a long stretch.
I game with the Saints.
I was about to say. So
Especially
basically,
with
you
this-
going with the Saints.
Yeah, but this slack team they playing, I game with the Saints.
I still go with the Saints now, but I said I gotta see what Jameis.
You could kill. Boy.
I gotta see if Jameis could do it over a long stretch before I ready to anoint him as completely fixed.
Okay.
But I starting to see it though. I starting to see the vision. Honestly.
Better coaching, better offense, better sight. Well, ain't nothing more. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the next 1 p.m. game. We got
Broncos and Jaguars.
Broncos and Jaguars.
This is an easy one for me too. I game Broncos.
I don't think I'll ever pick the Jaguars.
Only because
Yeah, but I mean,
I have Sutton as my wide receiver this week, and I need Sutton to go off.
I picked the Jaguars last week and they get
You
burned.
pick up Sutton or you draft Sutton?
No, I draft him. I needed him.
He may go off.
I get burned
Jerry
last week. They
Judy.
picked the
Jerry Judy.
Jaguars.
Jerry
No,
Judy
man.
out for how long?
I ain't doing nothing
Oh,
more.
I ain't sure, but I just know that
I don't know no more till they
He need
place
to
a
be out for
real
at least 1 4 or 5.
dumpster fire.
No, man.
I was gonna pick up what do you
That's
name?
your-
Tim
that's your
Tim
team?
Patrick.
Trevor Lawrence will have a good game again.
Oh, boy.
Well, he had a decent game last week.
Against the
He'll have a
Texans?
he'll have a decent game this
That's
week.
the Broncos defense.
Broncos. Yeah, he'll have a decent game this week.
Okay.
But
Decent is great.
yeah, I go on the Broncos. I think that should be a relatively easy one for him.
Tim Patrick, fantasy sleeper. Just saying.
Who?
Tim Patrick.
Okay, so now we got the Falcons versus the Buccaneers.
Hey, Vikings and Cardinals. Don't you
Oh,
disrespect
my bad,
these
my
guys.
bad. Vikings and Cardinals at 4-5. My bad. My bad, Vikings
4:05.
fans.
Before the 4:25 game, we have
Yeah.
a 4:05 game with
Yeah.
the Vikings and Cardinals.
Vikings, Cardinals.
And like I said, there are certain teams like the Browns that I picked before week 1 that I shouldn't have gone against like I did last week. And I'm not doing it again.
Okay. All right.
And it's the Cardinals.
You hear that?
The Cardinals is one of the best teams in the NFC.
I agree.
And they have one of the best offenses
Mhm.
and one of the best defenses. And they're going against a very, very unstable team.
Inconsistent team.
Can 1 week put up 41 points and the next week put up 3. So I game with the Cardinals as long as the quarterback is healthy and that offensive line holds up enough for him to get to the outside.
I got the Cardinals in this one too. I think Marie could possibly be MVP candidate, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. And playing alongside those group of receivers, especially a guy like D-Hawk, I think this is going to be not an easy game, but I think they shouldn't have any problems winning this one. So I will go with Arizona as well.
What I tell you.
Okay, now we have the Falcons and the Buccaneers. I mean,
No. I have to apologize to my fans personally for being late. And these guys here didn't pick the Falcons and Buccaneers to be in a showcase game,
For what?
but you
For
picked
what?
the Bills, the Falcons and Buccaneers. Y'all forget
we've
storylines here.
No, but we've
Why?
seen
You
time.
realize that
What's the
Brady just
storyline?
posted-
Brady
there was
rapes.
a whole thing where
Brady
Brady just
rapes.
posted something at 3:28.
Brady rapes
With that in his background.
Matt Ryan every year.
no,
What is
no.
the story here?
This is, don't forget, they're also now in the same division. So this is number one.
this
a
has never been a
division
real
game.
rivalry.
This is a division game, number one.
This is
and
not-
number two, it has a chance to
This
be
is-
a very good game if the Falcons could man up and say, hey, we're not going to
Okay.
let Tom Brady
Regardless,
roast us.
Regardless
for
of-
one, this Brady Matt Ryan thing has never been a real rivalry.
I never said
Okay,
it was.
no.
But that
Since
was
then-
one of the best Super Bowls I have ever watched.
Since then, Brady has gotten
yeah, because he's on a good side. He's
Yes.
on the right side of that
Even
table.
if I wasn't on the, if it wasn't the Patriots and another team came back from 28-3,
Okay.
the way they did in the third quarter, you could come back from 28-3 in the first half, in the third quarter with 3 minutes left.
Okay.
That's basically the end of the third quarter. That's
Okay,
So
like,
you
but
live,
one
in, you
quarter
live in the
left.
box. That's the problem. It's never been a real rivalry. They played in one Super Bowl. Yes, it was a very,
One
very,
of the best Super Bowls.
very, very, very great Super Bowl. Since then, Brady has gotten infinitely more weapons, and Matt Ryan has gotten considerably worse as a player.
And thirdly, the best player on the Falcons is gone.
So
So what do you mean? This is the same team you just said
Yeah.
last week after
It's the
losing the pieces
storyline.
and really
you all put the Bills
as
and
wide
Dolphins.
receiver
What is
one.
the you know what? We can get to that.
This would be like the Lakers and the Celtics playing, but Kobe to retire.
I mean, I don't know
Kobe
what
and
you,
Bryant's on to retire, and Derek Fisher is the best player.
you telling me you picking the Falcons?
I never said that.
Okay.
I said I don't know why this
You
game
picking
is
the
not-
Falcons?
No.
Not a showcase game.
This ain't no show.
I don't know no one who would pick the Falcons in this. It's
Is
not even a
not a
I
competitive
ain't saying
game.
I can pick it. I
this
just
game
wanted to
actually
know.
out of all the games, this is the widest margin that
Okay.
ESPN has. I think
This might be one of the closest games tomorrow.
Could be. Anything is possible.
Or it could be now.
Monday
All
night,
right, tell you.
you got Lions versus Packers. I going with the Packers.
So sick of Aaron Rodgers.
After that foolishness last week,
Yeah.
I don't think he wants that on his reputation. I expect him to be a lot more focused this coming game. And
I agree.
I got them winning this game.
I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna. I mean, I think he even said it. If we start reacting after,
That's the problem.
game first
He's come out with this
First
this-
week
this-
losses, then, I
I don't
mean,
understand him.
is he wrong?
He's mentally, to me, he's mentally weak.
You
Like, I
are
hate
saying that Aaron
that.
Rodgers,
should
you don't.
be, why you gotta wait till you toe cut it to realize that, hey, I should be focused.
Those were not his words. You you don't like Aaron Rodgers because
Stop telling me why. Like, stop trying to put this.
you don't
keep
because
trying to
it's
put
but
this
it's
out
one
there.
but it's one storyline.
I'm
It's the
sick
same.
of him because
it
he
all
proved, didn't I
evolves.
say this last week? I'm sick of him because of this and that. And then he went out there and did what I said he was gonna do.
Every time you mention Aaron Rodgers, you say, "Oh, he's a diva."
Yes, but what he did last week? Cry,
He
whine
lost-
on the
he
field,
lost the
throw
game.
tantrum, do all this crap, and then lose.
He
At
performed
least
the
when
crap.
Brady throw a tantrum, he coming out to roast you. This guy throw, but I know one
Oh,
thing.
so not a-
Don't do it again.
It's different kind of tantrums that you're
Yeah.
okay with now.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
Brady could throw a tantrum, but
And
Brady
win.
tantrum different
yeah,
from
man, winning
Rodgers
solves
tantrum.
everything. You could throw a tantrum and win. Like you say, y'all bring up G last week, right? G throw a tantrum and score 40 points and beat the next team. I cool. You throw a tantrum and lose, I picking up my bag and going home. I ain't want to hear no locker room talk after that. You done throw your tantrum.
Well, I think you could be throwing a tantrum if you winning.
What I tell you, it's a higher level.
So what you saying? You picking the Lions?
I say that.
Oh, okay.
Because football's not the team sport. You could have a crybaby on your team and still win. So, yeah, again with the Packers, just because they say, oh, he should come back and have a good game. Bro, you playing the Lions. You should have a hell of a game coming Sunday. Like, don't make it seem like, oh, he's going to come back and he's going to be so good against a Seahawks defense or against a top defense in the league. You come back against the Lions. So, if you throw 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, ooh, you should do that.
Speaking of Seahawks, let's
The-
segue
yeah.
into that next game: Seahawks
Yes.
versus Titans.
Let's get into our feature games. So, Seahawks versus Titans. Actually, before we talk about it, let's get to Bills Dolphins since I'll be on a little earlier. Bills and Dolphins. Right? We all picked to win that game.
Why is this? You know what?
I don't like the Dolphins. I got the Bills to win the game.
I got a Bills.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
the
an easy
Dolphins
pick.
played
I don't
a
understand
really
this.
the Dolphins played a really good game last
No,
week.
this is not no easy pick.
This is an easy pick, bro.
All right. The Dolphins played a hell of a game last week. Okay.
But
I'm
this is-
going with the Bills because I believe that they have to have a bounce back game after that
They
performance
must,
last
right?
week.
Obviously, y'all
Yeah.
didn't watch that Patriot Dolphin game.
But
The Dolphins scored 17 points.
the Dolphins.
That's basically 3 scores against 4 turnovers. You're not gonna have that same amount of opportunities against the Bills. This is not gonna be
Okay,
that close. The
but I
Dolphins
need you-
defense is great.
Right, and I need you to stop
Okay.
mentioning turnovers as if
That is a
those
key.
are
The
things
Dolphins'
that just
defense is
happen.
great.
No,
Turnovers
it's-
don't just
it's
happen.
not that it
Those
just
are
happen.
forced turnovers.
But
The
you're not
Dolphins'
gonna
defense
force
is
them
great.
every game.
And
I don't care
forget,
how good you are. You're not gonna force
the
4
Bills
turnovers
just
every game.
the Dolphins defense is great, like you said, but don't forget the Bills just came off a game where they got completely shut out in the second half,
Exactly.
right? So
So
And you
it could
think-
be a close game.
so
you
it could be a
think-
close game.
You think this Bills offense and defense can come in there and let the Dolphins slap in there with Tua talk a little lower, Tua look a little Uncle Little Punko? No, it's not gonna happen. So I get the Bills, and it's not gonna be close. It's not gonna be your eye test. Like I said, you gotta watch some of these games. The score, you might look at the score and they say, oh, 21-10. But you gotta watch that game to realize that boy, the Bills could have 21 from halftime, and that whole second half they just was running the ball and they kick a field goal and score a late touchdown. Like that's how I look at it. I don't always look like, oh well, only one score separate. Like you really gotta see some of these games to realize.
So do
it's
you
not
think
really even.
do you think the Falcons versus Bucks is going to be closer than the Dolphins versus Bills?
Falcons, Bucks, Dolphins, Bills.
No, he doesn't think.
I know you don't.
I didn't
think
mean
that.
just
That's what I'm
answer.
saying.
I don't think none of them could be close.
But
I
you
think the
think
Bills Dolphins is definitely gonna be closer. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins got it. I don't think Tua could. Don't forget they have the Bills have a top defense now. The Dolphins have a top defense too, but they don't have a good offense. Now, when your offense goes against the top defense, Tua is gonna struggle. Who's their running back? Whoever he
no,
is,
I know him.
he
But
can
I forgot his
struggle.
name.
Just know whoever he is, he can struggle. Who's their wide receiver 1? Don't say Devontae Parker.
Tony Parker's the wide receiver too?
It is Parker.
Who's one of Devontae Parker ain't one?
Parker is one.
Y'all just tell me I ain't living in the
Can he
past.
still there?
Well, mud.
I only know Parker.
Yeah, it's
on the
Parker.
Dolphins.
Kenny's still there.
Park is
Y'all
one.
just tell me I living in the past with Buccaneers Falcons.
Yeah,
Y'all
we-
calling fellas who was good 2-3 seasons ago.
Well,
Some of these fellas ain't even on the Dolphins no more. He's like still
So you and answer that question. Do you think?
Who's wide receiver one that was not Park?
Their best receiver is now their tight end. Not because you're tight end, no means he's a receiver.
Okay, so who's the wide receiver? Who's the wide receiver one though?
What that young boy name?
It ain't Parker.
No, the guy who they drafted from Alabama who said Mac Jones is better than Tua.
He's wide receiver one.
What did he name? I can't remember.
That boy ain't got no sense. I
What?
can't remember him.
But you watched him play last week?
I can't remember
He's
him.
the one who's saving Tua. With them wobbly pass with that left hand. That little crippled left hand, he throwing them wobbly pass out there.
Wobbly pass.
But anyway, it ain't go away. I just
I
feel
really
like-
want to know that.
I don't know. That Bills and Dolphins, I just feel like the Bills can handle them. Especially being in the division where the Dolphins is now 1-0 and everybody else 0-1. You cannot give them 2 wins over 2 division teams. So I feel the Bills can come out and realize that, hey, this could be a factor when it comes to later on in the season that you don't want to have to deal with Dolphins having a tiebreaker or home field advantage over you.
Okay. Who y'all got out of the next feature game? Cowboys and Chargers.
Wait, so everybody picked Bills just now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would expect everybody to pick Bills. Who y'all got? Cowboys, Chargers.
Boy,
I got the Cowboys.
You got the Cowboys.
I know.
America's team.
I
That
got the
first
Cowboys.
They
game,
could be rough.
that first game, they played a hell of a game.
And look,
But sometimes it's a thing in sports where sometimes you play up to your competition, and then sometimes you play down to your competition. So I feel like they had a chip because they came in there trying to prove, especially Dak, who threw the
Especially
ball
Dak.
60 times,
Yeah, especially that.
that he is healthy and that they could come in and give the defending champions a run for their money. Now, week 2, I'm sure you could bring that same level of energy and that same passion to this game because you're playing the Chargers and you might feel like the Chargers is whatever, but don't forget, boy, they got Joey Bosa on that defense. They got a bunch of good players on that defense, and their offense is much improved. And the Cowboys defense still hasn't proved to me that they could. Like, they could hold it. Because, like we said, Dak could put up, how much points they put up last week? Basically, what, 28, 30? So they could average, like, between 25 to 30 points.
Dak ain't throwing 58 balls no more.
Of course not.
Yeah, but I
Zeke
mean,
done not- but
the
he
law
wants-
of averages
he
kick
wants Zeke
in.
the man of trading.
The law of averages kick in. I don't think he's going to throw that much.
He's not going to throw that much, but they
But-
still could score because don't forget, they did not know
They
Zeke scored.
they didn't get nothing from Zeke.
Zeke could go off.
Yeah, so that for that reason alone, I think I'd pick the Cowboys because I think they'll get better balance this game. So they won't have to rely on Dak being superhuman like he
Me
was last week.
personally, to be real with you, the offenses in this are pretty close. I'll give the advantage to the Cowboys because of the QB, wide receiver, and running back situation. But the defense of this is not close. I don't think you all also read the scouting report where DeMarcus Lawrence is now injured. Their best defensive lineman is out. So you got a defensive line who is already weak, a defense that's already weak, and you just lost your best defensive player. I gave it the Chargers just because we already saw what that secondary looked like.
Yeah.
That man couldn't, you might as well put him out there in a wheelchair. Like, he couldn't stop nobody on that end. And now you got a defensive line that's going to be weakened to where the Chargers could have a good running game. I ain't saying it could be a big margin, but I feel like the Chargers could pull out
I feel it'll
a
be a
sneaky
close
game.
game. I think it could be a close game.
I think they could sneak them out.
And then we got the Seahawks Titans. That's tipping off at
That's a
425.
big game.
Um,
That's a
That's a
big game.
huge game.
who y'all got to win in this one?
To be honest, but that's another big tight game. But team secondaries just let them down, just like the Buccaneers. But why we don't have good safeties and corners no more, bro? Like, it's like you got 5 at each position, and then it's like a cliff. Like, my thing is with the Titans and the Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks have a good safety, but the Titans really have a good defense when it comes to line and linebacker. But they just don't have top safeties, bro. Like, they have scrubs
They don't
and
have-
safeties.
They don't have
bro.
good pass protection.
And then Russell Wilson so like throw this deep ball.
And that's going to hurt them against
This
the
man
dual
just
leg.
drop back and just launch the ball. He can't
Against the
even
dual
see
leg.
over the offensive line.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. So I think those problems are probably going to plague them against Russell Wilson. So again, this is a game I think is probably going to be a close one again.
Yeah, this can be.
Um,
This was probably gonna be game of the week.
yeah, but I'll probably lean Seahawks. I'll probably lean Seahawks.
I want to lean Seahawks, but I don't think Derrick Henry can give me 2 bad showings in a row, bro.
I think the Titans are gonna get it together.
Yeah,
I think
Derrick
they
Henry
have
can-
to figure
can
it out.
Run for like 160, 170.
I think, and then not just Henry too. I think Julio is gonna have a much better game. I don't know if y'all know Julio's the head coach threw it into Julio. I thought that was very interesting, given the fact that this is his first game.
Yeah,
on the-
you just
That's, yeah, you know what I mean.
like
And
that.
that's a legend. So I
Yeah.
mean, you know, so I think Julio's gonna have a
Right,
much better
but
showing.
he could either respond to that in 2 ways, so 1 or 2 ways. He could accept the challenge or
Right, but I'm banking on his legendary experience.
Yeah.
I mean, dude is a
It's hard to
sure
go
about a
against
Hall
the
of Fame,
Titans,
but
bro. I think I get in Titans too. It's hard to go against Titans. I ain't gonna lie. The Seahawks got a passing game. Their running game isn't all that. That's number 1. Number 2, if you could take away that deep ball and play your zone, cover 2, cover 3 in the back there, and you force Russell Wilson, first of all, you got to play a contain cover 3 because you got to keep him in that pocket. If you could play a contain, keep him in that pocket and don't give him that deep ball, and you really limit his passing to dinks and dacks and little mid-range stuff, along with a running game that isn't as strong, you could actually hold the Seahawks. And I feel like, even though they have a good defense, with Jamal Adams and all that, but I get Titans. Titans can't afford to lose 2 games in a row. And like you say, Julio can't afford to have 2 bad games in a row.
No.
And Derrick Henry can't afford to have 2 bad games in a row.
yeah.
Like,
So
I just-
one got to give.
it's rare. It's
Yeah.
rare. And the Seahawks had a good game last week. So I feel like, yeah, they raise all the bullets.
so Titans, Seahawks. All right, so I was the only one on the Seahawks train.
Yeah, you're in a tight.
And the final game, which is another 425 game, look like. Oh no, that's
Nope.
actually it's an 820
This is
game.
now Sunday Night Football.
820 game. We have the Chiefs and the Ravens, which I guess otherwise would probably be a great game. Probably
that-
still might be a good game.
yeah,
It's still
I
gonna
think
be a
it's still
good
a
game.
really good game.
This
but-
is easy for me.
But again, this is easy for me. I mean, the
The Ravens don't get exposed.
But every game where Mahomes goes up against Jackson is going to be a spotlight game.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. But I mean, this is like all teams stocking up in the Ravens' favor. The running game in there, you got a bunch of injuries to a lot of key players, and then it looks like they say Tyrann Mathieu is expected to return this week, and he's been given Lamar Jackson fits the last couple of times they played. So, yeah, I would expect the Chiefs to be able to figure out a way to win this game, even if it's not a blowout. They'll probably still find a way to figure it out. And then for the Ravens, this might be the first time in the Harbaugh era that they go 0-2.
I mean,
So you go in Chiefs.
I guarantee.
I go in Chiefs too.
yeah,
And I'm
that's
pretty
obvious
sure.
pick.
Yeah,
Of course,
I
I
think everybody would go Chiefs.
it's
but-
easy Chiefs because, like I said, the Ravens are not healthy. So that RPO, like I said last week, the RPO is not gonna work if no one takes your running back as a threat. So anytime you try to run that, they're gonna always gonna send a spy at the QB because
they
it's
know
like,
you-
okay, if the
you
running
only
back get the
faking.
ball,
Yeah.
okay, we got 8 other fellas to tackle him at the line. Me and Warren with him. But it's that when Lamar pulls it back out, it's be the issue. So if you could get a situation where you could put contain on both sides and you could really jam Lamar in the box and he becomes a pocket passer, not saying that he can't throw the ball, but he's less effective that route. And then you got a Chiefs team who is just... Now, they have weaknesses too. They have a weak secondary as well, if you take out Tyrann Mathieu. But they have a weak cornerback core, and they could get exposed too. But in this situation, I highly doubt it. They're going to have too much firepower for the Ravens. They're going to wear that defense
Yeah.
down. And I just, like I said, Chiefs. One thing I like with the Chiefs, they're not like the Patriots when we was at our peak. They don't just bowl you over from quarter one. What I like with the Chiefs is they allow teams to keep up or sometimes even get ahead until after halftime. And then all of a sudden, Mahomes them is just go into this cheat code mode and put their game on pro and just start launching everything. And I just be like, where was this the first half? So it's like they be playing on all Madden in the first
Yeah,
half
they
and be like, hold on now, this team do that. They shouldn't be keeping them
That's
like
that's one thing I like about them.
put it on pro.
They sort of mastered the art of pacing themselves,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And that's what all great teams are able to do. They're able to pace themselves and pick up wins when they need to on the margins. Right?
It showed last week too when they was down against the Browns and they had to come back. I think this week they definitely could give them something to prove. They could show them that this and we still
Yeah.
the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We ain't.
And like I
We
said,
still number one in the league.
yeah, and I don't know if it necessarily will be a blowout, but I feel as if they'll find a way to win. Like great teams, they find ways to win, especially a team like the Chiefs who's been to deep playoff runs like 3 years back to back. They already know what it takes to win at the highest level, and they know what it takes to get there. They don't really have to prove anything during regular seasons. They just have to pick up the wins when they come to them, no matter who's on the schedule. So I expect a great game from them, and I expect Lamar Jackson to play good on Baltimore side as well. But I just don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah.
But I mean,
wasn't
it
enough
is
to beat the
extra
Raiders.
motivation for Jackson to beat this Chiefs team, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think he can go super hard.
Yeah, definitely.
You just can't beat it by yourself.
Yeah, it just could be rough. All right, so those are our picks. Y'all can keep track of them.
Tune
What-
in on Tuesday
Tune in
nights
Tuesday.
on Facebook and the YouTube page where we
Yes.
do go over our picks. So for y'all who are listening and saying, hey, they didn't recap how they picked week 1, this show is where we make the picks. Tuesday after Monday night and Sunday night is done. Tuesday night we be on Facebook Live where you could interact, where you could get into the groove and actually rant with Sans and tell him how bad his picks is. And it's actually on a live platform. So if you want to hear our picks and our actual records, you could tune in on Tuesday night to the Solid Pods or Xperts Pods, where you could get us live on Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow the Solid IG, Facebook, YouTube. Follow the Experts on Facebook, and follow Solid Pods on SoundCloud. You'll get all of our content. And like Xbox just said, we live on Tuesday. Make sure to follow the Solid page
With special guests.
with special guests, possibly. Make sure to follow the Solid page to watch us on live. We usually go live around 9 o'clock, so please, you'll get notifications. Definitely. And of course, we want to, again, make another big shout out to our sponsors at Kill Bahamas, Rev Trio, for giving us the platform to talk about football and sports, stuff we love. Please, if you are a football fan, big NFL fan, get the Sunday ticket package. Please, you can't beat that, right? You don't want to go streaming from a bunch of these random sites. Get the NFL Sunday ticket package. You will have access to every single game on Sunday. If you can't find ESPN, you'll be able to find it there. And if you're a Rev Trio customer already, that's no additional cost to you at all. That's a deal you can't really beat. So, once again, call Caleb Bahamas, email Caleb Bahamas, email Rev Trio, and get that package. So, any final shout outs before we officially end this podcast?
I can't shout out who I want to shout out, but yeah. Shout out to Rev. Shout out to Rev for the sponsorship. Thanks for that. Shout out to the Solid Pods. Shout out to X Nation Management. Shout out to I don't know what to call him, but our producer, our shine producer. You know, there's only one, the one and only Cam, the Comfort, and that's it. That's it for me. You know.
Shout out to Mike Strawn.
Shout out Mike Strawn.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Mike
Fun
Strawn.
night.
Shout out Mike Strawn.
Yeah,
Shout out
Mike
Mike
Strawn. I
Strawn.
was thinking something that I know it's a Bahamian name, right? But I was thinking like, oh, this one hardware store on Michael Road or something. Then I
He got,
realized,
like,
yeah,
he got like what? I think
Yeah.
he got two receptions last week.
Yeah,
he do anything.
He do anything now.
Yeah, shout out John Quell too. John Quell, I see in the WNBA's watch against, you killing. I be real.
MVP
John-
candidate,
Yeah,
boy.
she's an MVP candidate.
KD.
So keep that up. Yeah, don't let Brittany Griner dunk on you, but sometimes you can't control that. But you're doing good. Shout out Buddy. Shout out Aiden. The season about to start. Shout out Clay. I want to see you back full force, rapping that 242. They
Don't
don't
forget-
mind these people, but oh, Clay this, Clay that. Clay, we know you was being and you got us in your heart.
Get
Yeah?
Kai.
You two from the 242.
Yeah, shout out
Kai,
Kai.
we know Kai. You coming to get some highlights. You're in
Yeah,
a good
shout out
running
Kai.
gun team. That fella can throw you some alley-oops.
He would get.
Make sure I
major
swing on that
highlights.
rim
He could be on
fast,
ESPN every week.
Swing
Oh,
on the
yeah.
rim and slap the glass,
be-
but you got to scream.
That could be Dunk City.
Gotta scream. Don't go there.
Dunk City.
Don't. I mean, you be professional, but listen. Let them know you banging.
LaMelo,
eh?
Miles Bridges,
Slap that glass and scream.
Kai Jones, that could be Dunk City. So yeah, we out. Again, Photo Solid, IG, Facebook, YouTube, you know the thing go. It's your boy Santo. We out.
All right.